Before we do, how old are you?
I am 26.
Uh-huh.
I did
Uh,
not think I was about to be on here.
well, okay. Um, are you a critic or a detractor?
I'm a mixture of both.
Are you a single mother?
I am.
Okay. Have you been married?
No.
Do you want to be married?
Yes.
Why should a man marry you with your kid?
Um, because I feel like I have a lot to offer.
Oh, yeah, you got a kid.
I know I do.
That's a lot.
I know
What
I do.
else?
And I know it's a lot to expect another man, to take care of someone else's kid. But that's not necessarily all I'm looking for.
What do you mean that's not all you're looking for?
Um, I'm not, when I'm looking for a partner, of course, I want someone who could obviously be a part of my child's life. But, her father's in her life, and I'm not expecting someone to obviously go full hands on with the kid that's not theirs.
Okay.
But I guess my criticism is there's a lot of emphasis on women having children out of wedlock and having
Yep.
babies with these men.
Yep.
But why aren't we putting emphasis on the man on
Because I'm not. Because I'm not. Not this show. We've done that for too long. We're gonna have a show where we talk about the women, and you're gonna stick to the topic.
Okay. Hold on, baby. Okay. So basically, my criticism is that it's about men. That's the thing. Honestly, about
That's
men.
the problem. That's all y'all ever got to say some shit about is what the men do. And what the one thing you haven't said is what you're looking for, but who are you and why should somebody care?
Because I feel like I'm a woman that I'm ready to submit.
Why didn't you submit to your baby daddy?
Because he didn't want to submit to me, and that's
You submitted to his seed, and he didn't want to submit to you. You're supposed to submit to him.
I did. He just wasn't ready for what I wanted.
Well, then why'd you have a baby? Why'd you see what y'all have to understand is when y'all decide to have a child for a man, that's it. You might as well be physically married to that man because as far as the rest of the world, men look at you as free sex.
Okay.
I'm sorry, ma'am. Too many single mothers have come on and said the same thing, and you're talking about he wasn't ready to submit to you. None of that would have married if you wouldn't have had none of that would have mattered if you wouldn't have had a baby.
And the thing is, you're right.
But you chose to have a baby.
But you chose.
So why should a man come be stepfather?
Because I feel as if a man, if he really cares about me,
Uh-huh.
he would accept what comes with me.
This is what y'all wrote, telling women that they're the prize. Not I've asked multiple times, why should a man marry? Why should it and it's all been about what a man should do for you. Not a goddamn thing out of your mouth other than I'm me. Why?
No, but I'm really I want to do right by a man. I want to submit to a man. I want to.
What do you bring to the table that's better than a woman with no children?
My heart. I have a child.
That is nothing.
So what is it that y'all want from a woman that has a child?
No children. We don't want you. They don't want me. That's your problem. That's your problem. Should have married the baby daddy. That's your problem. Right there. That's your problem. What do you want? And when the men say what they want, well, I already got a kid. Your problem. Wait till your toddler's 18 years old and then get back out here and date. See how serious that is?
So I should be single until I'm 40?
You should have been married before you were a mother.
You're right. You're right.
That's the point. That's why that's old wisdom. Marry before you carry. Because when you get here, all the choices are bad. And y'all want good choices after bad decisions. It doesn't work. And it ain't the men's fault.
So when he told me to have this baby and get me pregnant, it ain't his fault.
Nope.
Because I decided to go through with it.
Yep.
You're right. You're right. So I guess, okay, so I give my criticism. So basically, my question for you is what I can do, and you're basically telling me I should just be single. I ain't gonna
you should marry your child's father. Well, no, here's the thing. What you have to understand is the men out here who don't have children don't want to deal with a woman who couldn't submit to her baby daddy. They don't want to deal with baby daddy issues. They don't want to pay for another man's child. It's not even how human beings is. If we were still in the animal kingdom, a new man would come in and kill the cubs. That's not how we're wired. So instead of saying You should try to figure out how to stay in a man's good graces and have him accept your child. That's what I'm saying. You have a child, granted. The kid ain't going nowhere. You can't undo it, right? Then you, as the mother, need to make it to where a man would want to pick you over somebody else. That's your responsibility. It's chicken or the egg.
Of course, and that's what I'm asking.
And
So
you need to
what
be,
am I supposed to do? I
well,
feel like anytime I come across a man, all they're interested in is just sleeping with me.
because you've already, yeah, because you've already had a baby, and you have to accept that, man. You put yourself there, and you can't use that against men saying, "Well, all they want to look at me is a sex subject," because you've already had a child, and men know they don't want to take on the responsibility. Single mothers are free sex, is what a lot of men think. I'm sorry, man. It's all in my comment section from single mothers. My question is, did you not know? I'm not listen. Did you not know that having a child was going to lead to all these possible outcomes if you didn't marry the father?
I was warned, but I was so obsessed and in love with him at the time.
Thank you. So that is but obsessed and in love. But one thing you did not say is you did not say I was married.
We weren't.
So you were selfish. You were worried about your obsession, your love, what you wanted. You had good counsel. Stop. Do not overtalk me. I'll drop this shit right now. You had good counsel and everything else, and you decided to do what you wanted to do.
Sorry.
You had good counsel and you decided to do what you wanted to do. Right?
Yeah.
So now at 26, how old is your child?
She's 4.
You'll be looking for a stepfather. You have to go out into the market and realize that you can't demand what the childless version of you could. You have to do more than the childless version of you. You have to if you want a man on the same level.
So what's the more I should do?
Man, that's on you to figure out. You ain't paying me. I mean, and I'll be honest, what you need is investment in yourself. That's the truth. Because now you can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. I'm just trying to get women to recognize don't marry before you don't have children out of wedlock because this is what it puts you in. But for women like yourself, it's not a simple solution. It's complex. I don't know you. I don't know your child. I don't know your parenting situation. But I will say in this, your child needs. What do you need to do? You need to make your child an asset to a man, and you need to make your situation not a liability to where you're an asset as well, to where you're the best choice out of all others. That sounds like a lot of work, don't it?
It is when you don't understand what is that warrior supposed to do.
Well, I'm sorry. And this is why you don't have kids out of wedlock, because none of the choices are easy. Somebody's supposed to come along and tell you as a grown-ass mother, here's how you make yourself better. See? You decided to get in the adult lane and become a parent. This is what you get.
So my question now is you need to tell me that, because what it seems like you're saying is there's not men out there that are willing to accept that about me and other women that have kids.
Sure.
Because you said from the beginning I should either make it work with my father.
Sure, but you can also win the lottery too. Is that a good investment strategy?
No.
Then why you want to ask me about the men out there that are willing to accept it? You said it yourself. What are the men you're running into? They only want sex because you're a single mother.
And I look good.
Yeah, you look good for sex.
Yeah, and I know I want more than that. That's the thing.
That's the problem. It's not about what you want. See, thank you. What you want is irrelevant. You got to give the buyer what they want. That's where you came in, starting up talking about what you want. That's what I've been saying over and over to my critics and detractors. You need to realize these women are incredibly selfish. That's all you talk about.
You're saying women that have children out of wedlock are selfish?
I'm saying you're selfish. And most women that have children out of wedlock are selfish, yes. Because you were thinking about you. You were thinking about you. You had good counsel going into it. You knew better. You knew the statistics. You're educated. You know better. The internet exists. You guys can't act like you were young and dumb and didn't know better. But you did what you wanted to. That's selfish. You didn't make a baby because you wanted to be a family and go forward. You didn't do it the right way. It was
I
about
did
you.
want that, but I did it backwards.
Well,
I
then,
did want that. I did want to be
that
with
was
you.
selfish, then, now wasn't it? And see, that's the thing. Accountability is like kryptonite. They don't want to say the words. Man, it was selfish.
I can
Sorry.
accept that. I can accept that, but I know my intentions, and it's kind of
Your
embarrassing to
intention,
admit
your
that
intentions don't matter.
I
The
thought
world
maybe
does not
having the
owe you
baby was gonna make
understanding.
him stay.
What?
I thought maybe having the baby would really like make him realize, okay, this person's about to have my child. Let's
What?
make it work.
Listen what she said. She had an anchor baby. Thank
No,
you.
not necessarily.
Yeah, you did. I thought having a baby was going to make him stay. That's what you said. And guess what, ma'am? That's some selfish shit. Critics, detractors, where you at? Listen, I had a baby. I thought they would monkey want to stay. See, to my critics and detractors, y'all act like the men who don't want to marry these women are apprehensive. You act like the men don't have good reason. They listen, they are meeting these women in the world. They're hearing the words that are coming out of their mouths and choosing to not get with them. See, my critics and detractors seem to think the men are just scared. No, they're making a because you don't get on a plane with the wing hanging off does not make you scared. It makes you smart. At what point are the men being smart, critics? Because they can get out here and unlike y'all's coupled up and married asses, they're out here in the real world. At what point do you listen to the men who are out here in the real world dealing with the real single mothers and they're making the real choices because they got real shit on the line? At what point do you listen to the consumer? At what point do you listen to the business person and say he's making a smart business decision? It would be unwise to partner with that person because it would be unwise to bring that on because it will sink your company. It would be unwise to get on that app on that piece of transportation because it may not be a safe journey. Oh, that's right. We are all up in it. Anchor baby. That's why I said it. And she tried to clean it up. Let him talk. The truth to come out. I had a baby on purpose. I had a baby on purpose. He ain't caring about that kid. Um, hello.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I need you to scoot all the way onto the camera. Your face is halfway off.
I'm new with this. Can you see
Okay.
me?
Okay. No. Scoot down. Oh, go ahead. Go. How old are you? Oh my gosh. How old are you?
32.
Huh? 30 what?
I'm 32.
All right. What did I get wrong?
Um, you make it seem like it's no hope for single women with children. I'm in a relationship and I'm not married, but I don't know if he's serious about me.
So does that sound like
So
there's
I
any hope?
disagree with you,
So does that
and I
sound like there's any?
also
Hold
agree
on,
with
hold on,
you.
hold on, hold on. Does it sound like there's any hope in that relationship?
Hmm?
You're in a relationship, but you don't know if he's serious,
Yeah.
right? So does that sound like there's any hope for a future?
I hope so.
No. You don't think he's serious. Does it sound like there's hope for the future? Hello? I need your response or I'm going to move on to somebody else. You act like you're distracted, not paying attention. Ma'am, pay attention or I'm moving on.
I'm just nervous, and
I'm
I can
sorry.
barely hear you.
Well, okay. I make things seem like what they are, man.
I know.
So what's the problem that women like yourself have with the truth?
Um, I mean, being a single mother, it is part dating. Um, so because you're a single parent, you come to the relationship um, not really confident,
How
and
many
that's the
children do
reason
you
why
have?
I don't feel like the person I'm with is serious
How many
about me
children do you have?
too.
How many fathers?
Too.
I don't know. How old is your youngest?
He's two.
You could always wait till your child is 18 and start dating again.
Um,
See, see, what
yeah,
you basically
it gets
explained is
lonely.
you're 32 years old. You decided to lay down and make one, two children with two different men, neither with the protection of marriage, and then you lament your opportunities or your chances on the open dating market. Ma'am, what did you expect to happen?
When I first got pregnant, I didn't even think I was gonna get pregnant because I was 26. So I'm thinking
So
I couldn't
26-year-olds can't
have
get
kids.
pregnant?
They can.
I mean, you were having unprotected sex, right?
Mhm.
There's a penis, there's a vagina, coitus happens, then there's a thing called an orgasm, and there's an ejaculation of semen, and the semen enters into the womb. Well, actually, it enters into the vagina, and what does it do? It goes into the vagina. The egg comes down the fallopian tube. Insemination actually happens in the fallopian tube. The zygote, the embryo, gets embedded into the wall of the uterus, and then 9 months later,
Well, women were getting pregnant really early.
doesn't
So
matter.
the
You were
fact that I was
26 years old,
26,
ma'am, and what I'm saying is you're 26 and you understand how the circle of life happens. You were
I
being
do.
careless. Okay, you did it again.
Mhm.
So what did you expect to happen if you decided to make two children by two different guys and you married neither one of them? What do you expect a guy to do out on the open market? You expect them to get serious about you when you didn't make the men whom you had babies for get serious about you?
We had that discussion. I mean, I told him like, "Are you serious about marrying me?" He said, "Yeah."
Okay, well, they know what
Um,
that really sounds like? A proposal, a wedding ring, and a date. Y'all get real game
mhm.
goofy. He wasn't serious. You wanted to have, ma'am, no. That's what I mean. You ladies are responsible for this. You're a grown woman talking about, he said this. This is why I make it seem like this because the women like you, like I'm talking to, y'all take no
Mhm.
accountability, no responsibility. They play victim. And they want this woe is me thing. Men are tired of this. Not once have you came in saying, you know what? I made two errors, and I'm willing to fully own it, and I'm willing to take my lumps in this dating market because I know I've diminished my value. I got to do better, and I got to have some answers. So it is what it is. I mean, I'm sorry that it's harsh, but it's harsh to be a stepfather.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know what. I mean, he's so mean. Really? No. Let's see what's going on in the waiting room.
And guys, that brings us to the end of today's video. Thanks for watching. More respect on the legend, the Godfather. May his soul rest in peace and may his name stay alive forever. Guys, like I always keep telling you, keep checking his videos on YouTube. He has so much intellectual videos there, videos that expose the female mindset and what you need to be expecting in the dating market, and special when it comes to marrying women and women that have already reproduced with other men, baby mamas. It's really crazy out there being with them for the fact that they always think they can just get kissed with another guy and just come out there and just get it easily, and when Godfather talk about some of these things, they act like they were young and dumb. So, okay, let's just grant it that they were young and dumb. That is why he's having this conversation so that you guys will not keep making these type of excuses like you were young and dumb. But when he have this type of conversation, he has been labeled, you know, misogyny and all those type of names. So what they basically want to keep doing is keep giving these type of excuse and they'll remain single. This lady was crying. The last lady, she was crying at the end of the video. Like summon everything to her. Sounds kind of wow, I fucked up. That's what it is. That's why she was crying. She's crying. It's not just that like she was sitting there and smiling and all those things. At the end of the video, she was crying. That's just what it is. And it's so sad to see these type of videos because it's almost to me like Western women don't understand these things. That no matter how laws can be put in place, there is no way those laws are going to change the biology of men. That since they've changed the laws, if I make kids and all those things, I'm still going to have a man or something. No, it's just not going to happen. Now, there are so many laws that incentivize women to make babies with, men that are just not willing to marry them and make all those positions. There are incentives that incentivize them to do all those things. But there are no laws that incentivize men to marry baby mamas. And there are no laws that are forcing men to have relationships with baby mamas. And one thing most women fail to understand is almost every government always wants her women to stay single. That is one thing most women don't understand because economical, when women stay singles, it helps the country's economy. So they are always hoping on you staying single. That's just the reality because when women stay single, they buy more. So they'll work hard and get their money and they'll pump it into the economy. And how is it done? As you are a single lady, this is what you typically tend to do. You want to dress well, you want to put on the most expensive makeups and all these things to attract men because biological, if you are accepted or not, women just cannot be happy by themselves. It's just not how you guys were created. So politicians understand these things. Okay, what do we do to keep women single? Make them have the freedom to do whatever they want to do without any sort of accountability. Give them incentives that incentivize them to break up relationship and all those things. So when they break up relationship, by then they are having kids. So they know automatically most men, because most politicians are men, so they understand that men will not want to deal with them. So by doing that, we'll be getting more single women in society and they'll be purchasing things and our economy will be stronger and stronger. This is logic because women make less, but they spend more. Why is it so? When a woman is not married, when a woman is single, they spend more than when they are married. When they are married, they don't spend. But when they are single, they have to buy the expensive lash wigs and all these things. And those things that are the things that run the economy of a country. Women who, I think, almost every country, 70 to 85% of the consumer debt, they are holding it. What does that tell you? Let's make them single. Then you can make good economical value out of them. And that's what the West has been doing. They've been, deceiving women and just making them miserable. The woman is not supposed to work till 65 or 70, whatever the case may be, because some women argue that they can work till 70 years or something. The woman is not supposed to be like that. You can work from maybe your 18s to 25 and you get a husband and, you make your life better or something. So along the line, you can just decide to stop and it's good. But when they make you single and you think that they are making rules that, that empowers women or that love women, no. It's hate in disguise. I'm telling you. What someone like Godfather was doing is something that we call bitter love or something. He was doing the right thing for women, telling you, if you make babies, this is the consequences that you are going to face. And people tend to call him all sort of names, and it is what it is. Women don't like the truth. They don't like people that love them. They always like people that hate them in disguise. And this is one of it. That brings us to the end of today's video. Thanks for watching. More respect on his name. May he so rest in peace and may his name stay alive forever. Keep checking his videos. He has so much information in his videos. So if you are not checking it out, you are doing yourself a very big disservice. And guys, always remember to stay out of trouble.